Hi Juvies, welcome back to my channel. So today we have my mommy and my best friend. So they only know that we're here to do a girls talk. They don't know what we're gonna talk about. Da-si da. But I'm really excited about it.
Da-si da.
Oh, it's just something, it's just blah 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 blah. Da-si da.
Okay.
You know,
Okay.
whatever. So, you know, we're gonna do a little girls chat. I know.
I'm very thirsty.
I love a girls chat. I mean, you're thirsty. What you want, wine?
Oh.
Well, I mean, a girls' chat needs wine.
Okay, we'll be right back with wine then. Okay, y'all, so now we got the wine. So as I was saying before they requested wine, we're gonna be doing a girls talk. Let me tell you what it's on. This one's a little bit deep,
Okay.
so I'm happy that we got the wine out.
We're going deep.
We're going deep. Attachment issues. Oof. Saying no. Ugh. And cutting people off. Where do y'all ask say the cutting people off one for Mish?
What?
Expert.
Look
She
at
knew
you.
how to do it. So
This is gonna
I had
be.
to have a strong woman in the chat for cutting people off and saying no and to tackle attachment issues.
Sometimes
So
you
you know
just gotta
what?
do it. Sometimes you
Where
gotta.
do y'all want to start first? 'Cause we hitting all three.
Let
Let's
Brittany
start
decide.
with the attachment issues.
Attachment.
We can go anywhere and everywhere with that topic, wherever
Okay.
you want to start.
Go, Britt.
Okay. So, that's very deep because I feel like I have attachment issues. I realize that when me and a guy stop talking, it's so hard to let go of what we had. Even though the person might have hurt me, it's like I'm reminiscing on all the,
The
good
good times.
instead of just
Remembering.
accepting it for what it is.
Mhm.
And I'm just so attached to the
This
person. And I'm just like, what is it like?
About this person.
Why can I not let this person go?
Mhm.
It's so annoying. Like, I'm currently going through that right now. There's
Right.
one person
Mhm.
that I'm just so attached to. And I want to move on
She
and
does.
move forward because deep inside I know that it's not for me.
Right.
And there's better out there for me, but I'm just so attached to this person and I'm just like,
What is going on?
I was so, you know, like, I don't know.
You know what, Brittany? I understand you, and you know I understand you because
Mhm.
I, not currently, but I've been through something similar to that, where I am just remembering all of the good, not the bad. It's like him. It's like he's Jesus on the cross. Like the man is just
Like we're put
up
these
there.
men,
He's up there for no
we're put these
reason.
men on a pedestal
For
and it's
no
just
reason,
like,
and I cannot take him off. And I had to learn that I couldn't. It's like no other man I spoke to compared to where I put this man. Not that he's there. He's not there emotionally in any aspect. He's not where I placed him. But I placed him there, and any man I spoke to after could not be up there.
and it's like,
And
you
that's
don't want to
something wrong with me.
compare,
But yeah, compare.
but you compare.
Mhm.
Like you're just like, this person would not do this person would not make me feel like this. You hear me? Like
Even though they probably did make you feel like that.
little things.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know.
How
What-
did you, as a woman, Lish,
like
that has gone through something? You've gone through that? Don't say no.
I think that we all go through
Something.
attachment issues, whether you're a female or a male. But sometimes what we consider attachment can sometimes just be habit.
Expound.
Well, I mean, if you're used to every morning sending that text and
I see where
used
you're
to
going.
that
I see where you're going.
regular lunchtime talk or
Talk or-
FaceTime,
FaceTime every night.
and you think that you're attached and addicted, but
It just
you're really
is.
just, it's a habit.
Mhm.
And some habits are hard to break. And that's why you have some
Mhm.
people in the world who move from one man to another man.
Yeah.
And
'cause they can't do it
most
themselves.
men really don't give up sure for unsure. They normally replace that woman before they leave that woman.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of that really boils down to, in my opinion, habit. Some people don't really want to be alone. Some people can't be by themselves with themselves. They're not happy with themselves. And so they look to that person to bring them joy. And sometimes that habit, you wake up looking forward to that. And if you
That's
don't,
right.
if you
wake up
don't,
looking forward to that.
To the good morning.
babe. How, my hit that nerve. That
Me,
good morning, babe.
there's not one morning that I will wake up and gonna see a good morning from my phone.
And how that make you feel as a woman? How that make you feel as
It
a
was
woman?
something I looked forward to, like
Wow.
it made my morning every morning when I get
Wow.
it. And no,
It's gone.
as in, it's not hitting me as much as it did hit me when it did just end. I feel like I'm
Getting
moving past
over
it
it.
now. But when it just stopped, it's like my
Of
mornings
course.
were just like so dull because
No
that little
love.
message that would boost my morning, me I wake up to no notification. My phone's dry. Nobody now say have a great day. Nothing like that. Like
You
no,
are
because
amazing.
nothing.
You can take on anything.
And it is a habit. Like I agree because you
Yeah.
get so used to
Caught on.
doing this,
and it's a
receiving this
habit that
message,
you
and-
enjoy.
Yes, it's not
So
like,
it's one that you miss. Now, if you weren't someone that needed that fulfillment in the morning, and it stopped, it wouldn't be a big deal. But it's something that brought you joy
Yes.
and made your day.
Yeah.
And so, the good thing is that you are going to find out that you can say good morning to yourself, and it's not going to bring you as much joy. But now you know how important communication is in the morning.
It taught you something deeper about yourself.
Right.
Yeah.
And you can get that with friends, but you would not want to have a relationship with someone who does not know that about you. Because you can actually have a man in your life that don't tell you good morning,
That's true.
And then you're gonna
Yeah.
say, well, I don't think he loves me. Mainly because
He is not him.
he's not the right one, because this person that you pick up doesn't know how important that is to you. So
That's
the person
true.
that you've left, whether he knew it or not, has shown you that this is something that is important. I love to have that in my life.
Because I even started talking to somebody after nothing serious, just a little get to know. And it's like he would wake up, and then normally he would wake up before me, and then I got to message him and he's online, and I'm just like, you can't say morning.
You never think for
Like, and he's just like, oh, I was just waiting until you're up and whatever. And then it just made me never like the boy, because I'm just like, I'm not used to this. Tell me good morning.
But it's not his fault, because
day.
sometimes you have to show people how you want to be loved.
It's true.
And the reality is that not everyone wants to be loved that way. Because somebody might say, every morning, all right, my honey too. Some people might not like that. So you don't know where he's coming from. And that's the part about getting to know someone. That's what's hard, and that's what makes you attached, because when you get further along and you've really taught someone how you want to be loved,
and
then you have to start all over again.
Me growing for me. I know him gone. Like, hello, me grow you for me.
So sometimes,
And somebody else experience when
When
we
we
grow.
grow.
but hey, the person that's experiencing it might not like it. They might not
That's
appreciate
true.
it, because not everyone wants to be loved
Like
the
that.
same way you want to be loved.
Mhm.
And to love someone, you want to love someone the way they want to be loved. So whoever you pick up next needs to understand that this is something that's important to you. It might not be part of their character, so they're going to have to either figure out how to do
Do
it,
that.
or you're not going to want to stay with that person. Because that brings you joy. That makes you think, oh my God, he woke up thinking about me, and he went to bed thinking about me.
I'm the first thing on
I'm the
his
first thing on his
mind.
mind. Mark you, it can be a player who has
Let's
a
go there. Let's go
large
there.
list
Have a
of the
broadcast.
Copy
broadcast
and
message.
paste and send to
Broadcast
everybody.
list.
The broadcast, good morning, everybody.
I'm not laughing.
And then you gonna feel special, and everybody else feels special
Why do
too.
you have to go there? Why do you have to go there? I'm not clacking with you.
Like
How
imagine
do I
one
have to go
morning
there?
you see the good morning baby and you realize that it was forwarded.
Yeah, it wasn't good morning. It wasn't good morning, Brittany. Good morning, Drew, or good morning, Michelle. It was like, good morning, babe.
What I cut
Pass
off?
that on to like 10 chicks.
What I cut off?
And I'm not saying that all people are like that, but you have to be careful what you find important because some men know what makes some women tick, and some men that are players.
Them just
Understand.
have
They'll
it
play.
locked.
Understand.
It's like them
What a practice.
have a degree in women. Like it's crazy. Because they have a degree.
Back to the attachment issue. That was the purpose. How do you get through that?
You know, first of all, I hate to say that time heals all wounds, but I would say to you that you're moving on. So when you're moving on, you just have to look it in the eye and say, well, guess what? I like that about that person. That person's no longer there. Unfortunately, he's not the one saying good morning to me anymore. It defines what I can say good morning to me. And you will find someone who you like that will replace that good morning. And then that good morning is not going to come with all that baggage that the other good morning came with. Because there's a reason why you left the first good morning in the first place. It wasn't that good. It was just a morning.
Talk about it.
It wasn't
Talk
good morning
about
no more. If it was
Talk
good
about
morning, it would still be there.
Talk about
So
it.
he was just morning. No, because the good was gone.
The good is gone.
So stop hanging on.
But
So-
that's hard to accept.
No, it's not. It's not. If it was that good, you would have kept it.
And some girl go through it and then keep the man.
Well, he ain't not good. So you left him. You left the morning. Now you're looking for a good morning. And you will find one.
I agree.
You'll find one.
Yeah.
At the
But
end
what-
of the day, I feel like it just boils down to you having to accept that
This person is not for you.
this picture that you painted of this person, it's not them.
It's
You have
not
to
them.
accept them for who they are. Because at the end of the day, I feel
If they
like
were them, you would be with
the
them.
attachment stems from you
Mental.
just
You pick a picture, you put him up on this stool.
everything. It's all in the mind, like.
And
everything.
some men are not trying to tell you to put them on no pedestal.
They
Nor
don't
are
wanna be on it.
nor are they telling you these things about themselves that you're making up in your own mind. So, you know, the guy's like, well, we never tell her that. I wish you get that from.
Delusional.
Yeah. So it's hard because you know you want a really good man. You know, you want a good person in your life, someone that you can share things with, someone that you can talk to about, you know, everything, and you want communication, and it takes time to find that person that gels really well with you. It really does.
My question is, why do women, I feel like every woman do this, them put men up there, but it's like men don't do the same for women.
I noticed that.
Why do we put men on this high stool and then men, they just don't do the same for
Them
us?
keep winning the dirt.
Well, I would not. That's a very general statement. I wouldn't say that all women put men on a stool and men don't do the same for us. I don't think so. That's not true. There are a lot of men that I know that put their woman on a pedestal. I think that maybe young women
Maybe it's because we're young.
are quick to put them really quickly just based on basic things like good morning. And that's not deep enough. Just because somebody says good morning to you is not deep enough.
That should be
You know?
normal.
So,
I understand
you know,
what you're
so-
saying.
And if you're not used to a good guy and someone that's half good comes around, you think you've met the best in the world.
That's true.
And you haven't. You're young. So I wouldn't say that you run to put somebody on a pedestal. You're just excited that you met someone that is fantastic for you so far.
Yeah.
But you're gonna meet someone that's better.
Definitely.
Yeah. So you know, but experiences. That's just how it is. And what you like, you're so young. I remember one of my very good friends told me this. Her name is Dr. Del Band. She told me when I was 22 years old and heartbroken, literally heartbroken and bawling. She said to me, she says, Michelle, you know, you're so young. You're just 22. She's probably about 3 years older than me. And she said, there's nothing that you want in your 20s, between 22, 23, 24, and 25, that you're still going to want at 26. He says, this guy who you think is so fantastic, he's not even in your league. I guarantee you, when you graduate from here, you won't even want him. 2 years later, I didn't want him. I didn't want him. And so, but at that time, I was bawling my eyes out. I was so heartbroken.
But understand.
It was just ridiculous. But he did me a favor. Because guess what? If he was still with me, I was about to outgrow him. And I was going to have to dump him.
Yeah.
Because he was not going to be with me. He was not at he wasn't able to grow with me. So, you know, so sometimes you're crying and crying and crying. You don't realize that, boy.
God's word.
Rough right now, you know, but guess what? You would have left him anyway.
Yeah.
He was not going to be with the Michelle at 23, 24, 25 that could grow with me. You know, at 26, I would definitely have dumped him. It would not, you know, but when you're 22, you're like, I want to marry him. I would have divorced him. I would have
Girl, if you don't get off.
No, but you know, you understand what I'm saying.
I do.
But at the time when you're in it, you know, you just
something
you know,
like
you just
that.
and trust me, falling in love is exciting. You want to find someone that makes your heart just jump and, you know, butterflies in your stomach, and you want to go through all of that.
You want the excitement.
Yeah, you want that, and you want someone that makes you feel very special.
Emotional.
Yeah, but they're not all that great of guys. Just because they look good and sound good, sometimes they don't come with good intentions.
Yeah.
And you're gonna have to figure that out before you give them your heart. Before you give them your heart and every other part of you, you figure that out before, you know? Because not everyone comes with good intentions. And you know, like Bob Marley said, there's a saying that Bob Marley said something about, I'm gonna Google it for you. He says, any man that, you know, like shows their interest in you and is not interested in you, it's not really a good man. I'm gonna Google it. Here's the quote. You guys wanna read it out loud together?
Together?
Yeah, read it.
Read it.
See Bob Marley statement?
Please.
Oh, I know this code. I think the biggest code of a man is a man that
Let me read
it.
The biggest coward of a man is to awaken the love of a woman without the intention of loving her.
Yeah, I know.
That's deep.
That's real.
I've always heard it.
Yeah, that's what I was telling you about.
Next, how to cut people off. As me as a woman, me as a girl, me as a person, growing up, it was very hard for me to cut people off. It was very hard for me because I would feel for that person. I would be like, oh my God, I don't want to be mean to them. Oh my gosh, this. These days, I'd be cutting you off. I don't care. Because I know that I have to protect my energy more. But you as a mommy, you as a woman, you as a once young girl, how would you tell somebody else how to start gaining that self-awareness to know that you have to protect yourself? You know what I mean by saying no? Does that make sense?
What's about cutting somebody
I think it's all about
Cutting somebody else, like,
to me.
not,
I think
not having that person around.
I feel like cutting people off. It comes with self-respect and putting yourself first. Because
I think so.
You feeling sorry for people is like you're putting your feelings aside and you get me, like you are considering
making yourself
this
smaller.
Exactly. And you're putting this person's feelings
Before you.
above yours.
I had to learn that. I had to learn that it's not about them. I had to learn that this is about me and how I'm feeling. And I feel like this person drains me. I don't want them around me anymore. And I had to learn that there's nothing I can do. I can tell them as much as I tell them. If they don't change and they know that they're making me feel this way, why am I putting myself through that? So I had to learn that I had to say no and cut somebody off.
Because at the same time, you don't just get up and cut off people. I feel like when you decide to cut off people, it's something that they constantly do and you just cannot take it anymore. So the fact that you keep talking to this person about whatever is bothering you and they don't care to fix it, then that person obviously don't respect your feelings. You get me? So you can't be saying, oh, I feel for this person, because this person doesn't feel for you. That's just how I see it.
What do you have to say about that?
We're talking about people on a hold.
No, like a regular, maybe like a friend, or somebody that you have some sort of relationship with, a friend, or maybe a boyfriend, a girlfriend, maybe even something deeper, like maybe even like an auntie or an uncle, like anybody that makes you feel belittled, makes you feel like you don't matter, drains you. When do you know? And how do you go about that? You know what I mean?
Years ago, I read a quote that said, goodbye doesn't need an explanation. And if you have gotten to the point where you feel like this person in your life no longer, I wouldn't say deserves, but you no longer want to share your life with that person, whether it is intimately or a platonic relationship. I think it's strange to cut off family because, I mean, you need family, but sometimes you do need to have them at a distance and have the right boundaries. But if you come to that decision, then it doesn't need an explanation, because when you have to go and explain over and over why I have to say goodbye to you to save my spirit, you should have already found out that you should have already decided and found out after checking it out that this person is not going to change. So by the time you get to that point where you are saying I'm going to cut the person off, it doesn't need an explanation, because they should already know. And you just distance yourself and survive, because you've already tried everything. You're not going to just wake up one day and cut somebody off.
No.
You're going to have gone through the motion, had conversations, given them chance over chance over chance, chance and a chance and a chance and a chance, and yet still you still feel hurt, belittled, you still feel drained, still feel disrespected or
small.
Sometimes I mean I've had that in my life when I was younger, where and it was a very close friend of mine, and it's like everything that person would say to me was negative. No matter what, it was just negative. And then I realized, you don't love me. You honestly, you don't love me. You don't want good for me.
Yeah.
And I need to find a friend
that wants good for
that we are on the same page. You and I are on equally yoked. If every single time you see Brittany and Brittany says, "Lad man, why you have that on for? Why you look so? Why you go on so? I don't like your lashes. Why your lashes them look so?" I mean, try to take off them nails there. Why the nails look so? Girl, must not take them off. They don't look good upon you. There's some people in your life that will
Can you imagine?
always, I'm telling you, always say something negative. Then you realize,
oh my God,
I can never do anything right for you because you don't like me.
You hate me. You tell me about me or somebody like that.
I'm a good friend, man. Brittany, me and you're a friend.
You're my family.
Why you lipstick them? Girl, you better not bother with it. This is how we get it for change.
One wash.
And then like people speak to each other like that and don't realize that it affects the person. Because if it's your good friend and you really and truly feel connected to that person and whatever that person's thoughts are, you accept that, then you say, after a while you go, why is it that everything I do is negative? And I had to cut one of my bestest friends off because of that. Every single time she saw me, it was like, why you look so?
Oh my God.
Why am I not?
No,
you can't be here.
Imagine my earlier struggle with self-confidence, and then somebody in my life that's supposed to
love me and be there for me
is bringing me down even more.
And it's someone who you trusted, their opinion.
That's a lot.
And then, so when you get to that point where you realize that this could be abuse, because friends can abuse friends.
Yes.
I mean, like for me personally, one of the reasons why I never, and this might sound different, but I am not one person to take the F off. I don't do it. But it's a common term among friends. F off. I don't do that because in the second you tell me to F off, I'm gonna follow your instructions. I don't want a friend to speak to me in that manner. And some friends, even among girls and even guys, words matter.
Yeah.
Words matter.
Yeah.
And words lead to action.
Yeah.
And sometimes when you have to listen to some of those words. If you have a friend that's consistently saying negative things to you,
You have to be careful.
you might have to cut that person off.
You are
Because that person, you're eventually going to look in the mirror and see what that person is saying
because it's in
over
your
and over
mind
to you.
now.
So I had to step away from that friendship
Yeah.
until that person grew up. And we're good friends again.
Oh.
We're good friends again.
Mm.
But honey, I had to step away because I'm like, listen, we're not friends for this season. Sometimes you outgrow people, and sometimes you just. And I never said anything to her. We still talk. We saw each other, but she was not allowed in my inner circle. And sometimes you have to have people outside of that circle. Sometimes you say it's a cut off, but it might not be a cut off. It's just a purge from this circle section. You go to the other one, that one, and that one.
They don't have the same access.
No, they don't have the same access. And so, yeah, and that does need an explanation when it's survival of your own heart and your spirit and your especially your energy.
Aura.
Yeah. Because if that person makes you feel bad, you don't want to hear them say good morning.
What you have to for?
See?
Oh, for your
It's already messed up your day. It's already messed up your day.
What I say, bring me a speech and say, why that person me
So you wake up in the morning,
piss me off.
nice good morning. You wake up, you don't do your meditation. Jesus loves me. Then you say,
Jira.
And it's weird to me that some people don't realize that being negative is just not a good thing.
It's unattractive.
They're probably just like, oh, this is just how I am, or tough love, or
No.
or unfortunately, that's what their parents did to them.
And they think it's normal.
probably.
And that's what their friends think is the way they speak. I've met quite a few people, especially now with the generation, your generation, that the way they speak to each other, it's not going to last. I mean, if you speak to each other with such harshness and a level of disrespect that you're like, mommy, that's normal. That's not normal. It's not normal to speak down to someone.
Yeah.
And if your child heard someone speak to you like that, what do you say?
Yeah.
Because I wouldn't allow Joanne and Chad to speak to each other like that. So I'm not going to allow their friends to speak to them like that. And I don't want to hear my kids talk to their friends like that either. You know? And it's become so common and so accepted now.
Yeah.
A level of disrespect among each other. It's so accepted that they even talk back to their parents and talk back to the elders. I told Drew when I went to high school at St. Andrew High School, we had to call our prefix Miss. We had to call our prefix Miss Dawn, Miss So. We could never call the sixth formers by their first name. And now, sixth formers,
Sophie, let me hold that class now, please.
I'm afraid.
Sophie. Yeah. And I mean, and that is just going to trickle down to even your children. And that's the reason why, like, when Drew and Chad were in school in the U.S., every day I would have teachers come to me. Oh, your kids are the most respectful children. Oh, they say please and they say thank you. And I'm like, that's normal. It's actually normal. But nowadays, it's like abnormal because we're not kind. We're not a kind society. So even now, with our Olympian Hansel and how that person helped him to get to the semifinals, and he went back to say thank you, and it's viral and worldwide viral because they're like, oh thank God, someone is still kind in the world.
And it's so crazy.
And it's sad, but it's a good thing, you know, to show that he was raised well, raised with gratitude, raised to say thank you, and raised to be kind.
Because a lot of times
You wouldn't turn back.
I just look at the way how people deal with each other, and I'm just like, I am so glad I don't have that in my life.
Yeah.
Because I am this type of person,
I couldn't have it.
and I could not have it around me.
I'm not
And
built like
sometimes
that.
you have to cut people off like that because sometimes you meet people and you don't see that side of them for a little while.
Until they
Because
can,
they can only fake it for so long.
They can't keep it up. When I was that last night,
They can only fake it for so long. Then all of a sudden you're gonna hear them just start talking.
talking at them with them talk.
Right now, my lashes then look like yeah, baby.
Always
I'm
something
gonna tell you
negative.
something there. Jesus.
And it's like it's uncouth. It's just it's no finesse. It's just and unfortunately, sometimes they don't even know it. So sometimes you can't preach to that person about it because that person
They don't know the
that's
better.
their life.
They don't know any
You
better.
know?
Let them live.
And so in those cases, for your own
To
Sanity.
protect yourself, you
And
just
your-
have to step away.
and you just have to say, this isn't the energy that
You know
I
what?
need.
And it takes strength to be able to text somebody or say that to their face and say, honestly, you are not for me right now. It takes balls. Like, I know it does. Like,
But it's also important that you can notice that early because that's what happens to women in relationships. You can be married to someone that you thought was the most fantastic person, and 1 year into your marriage, all of a sudden just that tastes your fat, or after you had children, them say, "Why you look so? So we're married," blah, blah, blah. And people start to disrespect you, and you're stuck in this marriage, and you end up being verbally abused.
Depressed.
You don't want to come out of bed. Then all of a sudden you might start get beaten, and you're like, "But that's not who I married."
Imagine the one
how
person.
did I get here?
The one person you want to tell you that you look good is calling you fat, bringing you down.
Yeah.
Why you look so girl?
And so it's words matter, and I think that we need to recognize that as young people, as older people, and we need to speak kind to each other. And you can do different things if you want to relate to that person without making that other person feel bad. And don't say that you don't know that what you're saying
it's hurtful.
is hurtful.
Because you know what you're saying as a person.
It's hurtful.
I don't like hearing, oh,
That's what we talk, man. You know I got chuck.
Oh God, come on. You know when you're purposely hurting somebody.
You do know.
If it's a little one thing you weren't aware about, and the friend makes you aware, or your partner makes you aware, and then that person sees that you're making an effort, fine, because you're making an effort to change. But come on.
Yeah. So sometimes in those situations, you don't have to say goodbye. You don't have to say sorry.
True.
You just have to say to yourself, they don't even have to know
Come on.
that this person is no longer allowed in my circle.
Mhm.
This person does not have access to me. And it flows even into your career. Because, especially like even in politics, you're bombarded by so many people. I mean, the way some people speak to you, you wonder, who are you speaking to me like that?
Who are you? I don't know.
And I'll give you an example. So a young lady called me up and said, she really needs to have some assistance with her educational funds, And I said, sure, just, it was my private number. So I sent her the office number, and she texted me back. So come ask me for a vote again. I mean, straight up face to this and rudeness, So I said to her, meet me at the office because I need to interview you. She came to the office, but I just don't think she thought that she would meet me.
Yeah.
Because she speaks like that to all of her friends. So when I walked in, I said to her, first of all, you can be my child. You can be my child. So you can't speak to me in that manner, and you're asking me for help.
It makes me not want to help
Listen,
you.
the child started crying. I said to her, let me tell you something. I am trying to bring tourism to my constituency. You have to learn how to speak to people. But no one stopped her when she was a teenager.
Yeah.
So here you are as a grown 20-year-old. I talk to a big woman, like your friend. I called someone up to interview them to go on the farmer program. Yeah. Wagwan. Yeah, I said, no, you're in an interview. Yeah. I said, no. You're going to fail the interview. And I'm saying this to let you know that we need to recognize that we don't speak well to each other, and it becomes a habit. So if the person that you're talking to now speaks badly to you, and no one curbs that, they'll get married and they'll be the same one to tell them wives, look how you look, eh? Look how you look.
It's giving trauma.
Because no one nipped it in the bud. We need to start being more kind, and you all need to make sure that person that you're around, whether it's a friend, platonic, or intimate, needs to know that this is not accepted by me.
Me is not the one.
Me
People
either.
normalize being mean. Like, I don't understand. It's not cute.
Girl,
Stop.
Being kind is what's cute.
People have this whole mean girl act up. It's not cute.
Nope, unacceptable.
And you know you're acting. Because you know yourself say you're a nice girl.
Like,
Well, that little girl started crying, and she apologized, and we still assisted her. But I told her, I said, this is not the way to go. And she said, no one's ever spoke to me about this before. I said, yeah. So you're going on like you're some big person. You can't do that. I said, you lose a job by that for that. You're gonna lose friends. And if I was not a mom,
You wouldn't. Yeah.
I probably would not have assisted her. But I'm a mom, and I said, you need to come so I can talk to you, mother to daughter. Not even MP, mother to daughter. And we end up hugging. I assisted her, and I guarantee you that changed her. Because she says, you're still gonna help me? Well, of course. You're a baby. You're a baby to me. But you just need to know that the mean way you talk to people and carry on and it's not accepted. Not acceptable. So, yeah. Cut them off without even letting them know. Just say, sorry, you can't be my friend no more.
And honestly, I feel like when you reach the point, you will find the inner strength. I feel like in the past, I never really had to cut anybody off. It was something I would still tolerate. But when you really reach a point where you know that you'll be able to say, I can't do this anymore, you'll be able to do that. Any more closing remarks?
that's the last question.
Really?
It was just 3 topics. We talked about saying no. Saying no kind of mixing with cutting people. So, yes.
Say no.
Oh, we never talk about that? I don't feel like we talk about that. Never talk about that.
I feel like it ties into everything.
I feel like it did.
Yeah.
So closing remarks, anybody? Anyone?
Well, I believe that I even have this conversation with my friends all the time when I realize that they're just like sticking to the same old pattern. I tell them, respect yourself. You see, when you respect yourself and it's not okay. When you put yourself first, it's not you being mean to everybody. It's just becoming the main character, realizing that you are important, realizing that everybody else put themselves first, so you need to do the same. So I feel like when you learn that, everything becomes so easy, because when you realize that this is not what I deserve, I should not be going through this, blah blah blah.
Why am I putting myself through this?
Exactly. So
You won't put yourself through it anymore?
respect yourself, love yourself. You need to love yourself first before you can love anybody else.
And I feel
people say this all the time.
Yeah, that's what I was
And
gonna
they feel
say.
like it's some cliche type
Oh,
of
that's what I was
statement,
gonna say.
but it's a real thing. Like, you really need to love yourself. It's so important. Like, I've grown so much because I've just started loving myself more and respecting myself more.
And saying
Like,
But when you love yourself, you know what you will not accept.
you know what you don't want. And some people see it as, like, a lot of men will approach me and they're just like, oh, you're too high and you have too much standards.
Yes,
But I know what I deserve.
You're not for me.
And if you're not giving me, why must I settle?
If I'm right here and you're giving me right here, why am I coming down to here?
I know the
Why
type
am I
of
coming to
woman
here?
that I am, and I know the type of man that I want in my life. If you're not giving it, I don't want it.
Why me I settle? When you
Complain all you want. I mean, somebody else out there will accept what you're giving, but it's not me. I'm
Everyone has
sorry.
their
accept
own.
that. It's not gonna be me.
Everyone has their own standards of what they want and what they will accept.
Yep.
But once you decide on what yours is and what you really want in your life, and make sure that you can give what you get.
Yeah.
Make sure that you have a certain standard and that you will treat that person well also. It's like, I remember when I was very young in high school. I don't think that happened to you guys in high school, but when I was in high school, it was like all the men wanted to marry virgins and none of the men were virgins. So I remember when I was a virgin in high school, I was like, well, I can't wait to marry a virgin.
Right.
That knocks all of you guys out. I'm the only virgin here standing.
Right.
But there are a lot of people who demand certain things. But can you give it?
Make sure you're at that standard.
Yes,
if you're gonna ask for it, make sure you're
that's
there.
another topic too. A lot of women out there say, oh, they want this and that and nothing. And they won't even do one thing for a man.
Like, girl,
they won't even make a man feel appreciated. But you want all of these things.
And I feel like it's the men that will actually do what these women want, that these women are the ones that are not reciprocating that energy.
And it don't make no sense. You can't wah. And I'm not forgiving. And it not have to be nothing financial. Like, there's so many ways that you can make a man feel appreciated. That's just what I believe. So
well, it's not only in intimate relationships, it also goes with
in friendships.
Yeah. We talked about this the other day.
Doesn't make any sense to have a friend.
I'm such a giving
you're
girl.
You're always the one that's giving.
That's what I'm saying. I can't be friends with somebody that's selfish. I can't be pouring everything into you if you're not, because I'm so giving. I'll literally give you the world, and even if you're not giving me anything financial, it has to be something reciprocated.
A little bit moaning in the morning.
Something reciprocated.
Somebody you can talk to. Somebody where you can, somebody that can be there.
Bounce ideas off of, that's gonna be
positive.
Yeah.
And even if you don't agree, you're still doing it in a way that doesn't crush somebody's spirit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Those things are so important.
Very important.
So love yourself, respect yourself, and choose well. And you know what else? Pray that you get good people in your life.
That's so important.
Because sometimes we don't pray for good people.
Can't lift God.
You have to sometimes you have to pray for really good people.
And even
I always pray that you have good friends.
I prayed that I said, God, take out anybody out of my life that's not supposed to be here. And I kid you not, some people left. I kid you not, some people leave.
Well, I can tell you that
Crazy.
One of my prayers when you guys were younger, even up to last year, it was a big deal for me, was to pray that you would have good friends. Because bad friends can really lead you down the wrong path. And then you have to fight to stay on the good path. And it's so easy when you have good friends. All of a sudden, you're doing good things because you got good friends. Easy. So different, right?
I mean, this is so off topic, but I personally feel like if I was not friends with you and I had like a different friend group, I wouldn't be at this place in my life, because it's like I don't have parents to guide me. You get me? So, you know what I'm saying? Like, I wouldn't have any parents policing me and say, Brittany, don't do this, don't do that. From long time, I've been able to do whatever I want to do. So if I wasn't surrounded by good people and good friends that motivate me to do this and go down this path, you get me? I wouldn't be here today. I wouldn't be the type of woman that I am today. So the people around you plays a big role in your life. It really does. Like, it's so important to have good people around you, people with good intentions, people with good thoughts.
That just want to see the best for you. You should never have an auntie Mish where I said, Brittany, what are you doing with your life?
You know it.
Oh my God.
And I'm sure those good people are around you. So if they're not directly around you now, just look around.
Yeah.
Because good people are out there. And they're not gonna down the wine.
You done yours too.
Mine was a little bit.
We did get enough.
Yes, you did. But what I was saying is, look around you. Look, there's good around you also, not just bad. And pick out the good out of the bad and make your life amazing. Mwah, wish you all the best.
Honestly, guys, we gotta go now because these girls will sit here and chat the whole night. You know how long me I try out the video? Me I try to say closing remarks. All our new topics start. Goodbye, farewell. I stay no longer with you.
Stay no longer with you.
That's
That's a new song?
That's on him.
No, but stay no longer with
Goodbye,
you.
world. Adventist.
I made up my mind.
No, but not the reggae part. I stay no longer with you. Stay no
I'm not singing
longer
the
with
hymn.
you. Yeah, but you said stay no longer with you.
Another hymn that.
Well, let's play it.
Goodbye, pleasures of sin.
Alright.
If you did like this
We stay
video,
no longer with you.
please don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe.
Right.
And we'll see you guys in another video. Bye.
Bye.